Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Talking about topics and stuff. Absolute bedlam. Absolute bedlam. Absolute Bedlam podcast. Who? What? Where? Why? And welcome back to Absolute Bedlam podcast. I've had 5 weeks off, so I apologise to Luke and Andy if I'm a bit rusty. It's like riding a bike, but the bike hasn't got any wheels. So, yeah, we're back, and it's been a nice month off from the internet, sort of, even though we're constantly connected to this bloody thing now, aren't we? But yeah, it's just been nice to relax and rest. But yeah, all good. So tonight, if you can't see already, we've got Andy and Luke from the band Wolph. So how's it going, guys? Are you well?
Yeah, good. Not too bad.
We're great. Thank you very much.
No worries. All good.
We're in different parts. Parts. Like, there's train strikes on today, so we were going to be together, but we're sort of the opposites of London today. So
yeah, London seems like this constant striking railworks sort of epicenter of, if you want to get somewhere at 2 p.m, be prepared to leave at 6 a.m. Sort of best endeavours city, doesn't it? Considering it's the capital of the UK, it's a bit turbulent, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is very turbulent at the moment. But you know, I've decided to move just outside of London, so it's always a little bit tricky nowadays with all these train strikes going on. But you know, we're doing all right. We're doing well.
Yeah.
It always seems to be a gig day, doesn't it, Luke? Whenever there's like a gig,
always a gig day. Always a gig day.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, we've adapted and we're here now, so that's the main thing. So there's going to be a couple of points in this interview where I'm going to ask you to answer each other's questions, but being as this one's a very personal one, we start with this one usually. How was school life for both of you? How did you find the overall experience of being warehoused into a room with people you don't know? And do you think that you did quite well, or did it all kind of aid to this rebellious nature of music?
Well, I was terrible at school. Like academically, I'm no good whatsoever. So I was that kid that was always, tapping on the tables, playing with the pencils, in between your fingers, and just doodling all the time. So that was kind of my bit about school, really. But yeah, terrible, but good. I enjoyed it, but it got to the point where I was just trying to get to the music room or trying to play football and do anything possible not to be in a science or a maths lesson.
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I kind of I spent my time in the music department. There was kind of it's just whenever there's like a lesson off or anything, or lunch breaks and stuff like that, I was involved in like all the different. I used to play the trombone a lot. Sort of pulled into all like the orchestras and like jazz bands and stuff. So I didn't actually kind of hang out that much, and lots of my friends was playing football and stuff out in the playground. So I didn't sort of hang into those sort of groups. I was, kind of like the cool kids were kind of out, doing all the cool stuff, and I was just yeah, the boring one.
Yeah, no, fair
I
enough.
just still remember just like, skipping RE or, skipping science to go to the music room. Like, oh, I've got a drum lesson or I've got a guitar lesson. But you don't. You're just there, just in the music room, just like, messing around and trying to learn like new songs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Question for you. What would you say the word is for skipping class? Because for me, it's always been skiving off. Is there a regional difference
Yeah,
where I'm from down south?
I guess skipping doesn't sound as bad, does it?
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
bunking off the
Bunking.
lesson.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Quite a lot of that in college where you kind of got left to your own devices for the first time. And
Yeah.
I used to do media studies before I discovered music, and there was this 4 to 5 hour gap where you'd go to college in the morning, and then we'd have like key skills, which was like basically resitting your GCSEs at like 4 p.m. and about two of us would go to that because everyone else would just go home. Like, I'm not waiting around for 5 hours. Like some of the people, they'd get like a 2 hour bus to come to the college that I was at, and they're like, "Well, if I go to that, then I'm going to miss my bus." Just awful timetables at college, considering you're meant to be like, it's your
Yeah.
freedom.
I remember
You
that in
choose to
college
be
as
here.
well.
Yeah, so good
Yeah,
stuff.
it was literally like 2 hours in the morning, and then you get 4 hours off in the afternoon,
Hmm.
and there's like one lesson at the end.
Yeah,
Classic.
mad, mad. So, continuation of that question about school was, what's the naughtiest thing you or someone else did at school that you saw that you can disclose here without getting reprimanded by the authorities afterwards?
Ooh. Wow. I was quite a good kid. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah,
I was like, I was too, I was too scared to be too naughty because I hate getting told off. So like, I think the naughtiest thing was like, it was the last year of school, and there's about 6 or 8 of us, and we really hated this teacher. So we nicked all this cling film from the kitchens, and we cling filmed his car,
brilliant,
top to bottom,
brilliant.
and it was great. It was great, and then we all ran off, and then you get the announcement on the tannoy just being like,
Yeah,
"Who's that idiot?"
yeah, yeah, yeah. Fantastic. Haven't
Yeah,
had
that
that
was
one yet. Cling film car. That's a new one on the list.
oh good.
Yeah. What about you, Andy? Anything crazy happening at your place?
Yeah, I was normally sort of trying to not get into too much trouble as well. But I do remember it was kind of like an accident, but we got a new school minibus, and we sort of went out on its first outing in this minibus, and I was sat in the front, and there was like the little cigarette lighter.
Yeah,
I kind
yeah,
of pushed it in, turned it on. I pulled it out, and I don't know why. I just kind of pushed it on, that the rubber bonnet bit. I just went, tss, and it was actually on, and it made a whole. It started smoking, and made a
yeah,
whole ring on this brand new minibus. And I was just like, oh my god, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. So
yeah,
I had to ride the rest of the journey with my foot sort of firmly at the front of the minibus to hide this
yeah,
burn marks.
yeah. It's almost like that sort of childish, this isn't happening kind of mentality where I think I had a design technology class where I had to create like a wooden box, and I had to create like this plastic suction thing for my initials. So I put BG on the box, and you do this like thing where it would look cool when it was raised up. And I remember I was painting the box. I don't think I've ever said this before, but I painted it blue, and I was painting it with the paintbrush. And as I was doing one side, I was completely covering this girl to the right of me in blue paint. And she's wearing this white shirt, like a button up school shirt. and I realised what I was doing, and I stopped. But I didn't want her to know that she looks like a Smurf because of me. So it was like this weird, like, who's gonna move here first situation. And obviously, it was quite evident it was me because the scene of the crime was right in front of me. But I just, yeah, it's that sort of sense of like, I know that I've effed up here, but is anyone going to kind of catch me out? And
Yeah.
let's get this minibus back on the road as soon as possible so we can blame someone other than Andy. Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. So the reason we're speaking is because you supported quite a big band last year, none other than Busted. I saw you guys at the Bic, and I thought you were absolutely fantastic. It's not very often nowadays, as a 34-year-old man, that I check out the opening acts. I've got to admit, I usually kind of show up for the main support and the headliner, and then I go home because I ain't what I used to be. I ain't no spring chicken. But I thought you guys were absolutely fantastic, like I've just said, and you kind of set the mood for the evening. Considering it's just the two of you, it's quite a hard sort of thing to do, isn't it? As a the Bic isn't a small venue by any stretch, and I thought you guys really kind of created a good atmosphere. So
Oh,
yeah,
thanks very much. We really appreciate that. It was
all good.
yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it, Andy? It was so good.
Yeah, it's just gonna. We were going to be on a sort of a smaller tour, early, or I think it's the year before, earlier in the year, and it all sort of fell through. So this sort of came up, and we were like, yeah, Charlie gave me a call, and he was like, "Do you want to come and do us a couple of support gigs?" And I was like, "Yes." So yeah, the next week we had, yeah, so had these two gigs lined up, and it's probably the biggest gig we've done, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, just a couple, just a small gig that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a massive gig. It was huge. It was great. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, we were very lucky to be on that support, and yeah, it just kind of all felt, it was great.
yeah. So Bournemouth, I live very close to Bournemouth. Not going to dox myself on my own podcast. That'd be mental. But what did you kind of do during the day? Because it wasn't the first date of the tour, was it? Did you find yourself walking around Bournemouth before you went on stage?
Yeah, our friend Alex, who was doing the tour managing for us, drove us down from London in the morning,
Yeah.
and obviously just kind of dropped all our stuff off because we had quite a bit of equipment to bring with us anyway. So we just kind of dropped all our stuff off, and then we were staying in a hotel nearby, so we checked into the hotel, and then yeah, we just walked down to the seafront. It's like a kind of like a
Yeah.
beachy kind of bar.
Yeah.
The big part, it was great.
Yeah, so we just sort of hung out there for a couple of hours, and then yeah, went into the sound check,
Yeah.
saw a bit of what what Busted were doing,
Hmm.
and then yeah, it's always a rush. Like whenever you're doing like a support gig, it's always we're kind of because we were first on, we're the last ones to kind of sound check.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sound check times start kind of running quite. When things sort of overrun, our time gets sort of cut. So before we sort of did it, I built this kind of in-ears monitoring system, so we didn't have to kind of rely on anyone doing our ears for us. So at least we had that, and it actually turned out quite well that we did it because it was a bit of a rush to get on stage. At least we knew everything in our ears is going to sound exactly the same as we have been when I've been rehearsing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the other tour dates, did you find yourself walking around those cities or towns as well, similar to Bournemouth, or was it kind of get in, do the thing, go to the next venue?
Yeah, so we left. Well, Bournemouth was great. Like we managed to get on the beach, do some walks and stuff like that. Sun was out. It was awesome. It was great. And then the next gig that we did was in Brighton. So we're quite familiar with Brighton anyway. So we were just we went to the venue. like dropped all stuff off, and then yeah, we went out for a bit of lunch, didn't we? Went to the pub,
Yeah.
do a little cheeky beer before, and then yeah, grab some food, just have a little walk around, just like meet everyone that's like either coming to the gig that we know, and then yeah, just head up to the dressing room, start getting ready, go down to sound check, sort everything out, make sure everything's working. Because you know what it's like on tour. It's like, things start to break all the time, and then you're just like, oh, there goes another guitar string, or there goes
Yep.
another lead.
Yep.
Yeah, so everything was great, and then yeah, that was it. Then we're back on for Brighton, which was another great show.
Yeah.
Did you find? Sorry, go on. You
So
go on.
it's quite a nice because I've sort of played for some other shows as well before. You've kind of been to playing in the main act, and also first the sound checking first. So doing the sort of the first support is actually a really nice slot to do because it kind of you do get a nice bit of time each side. You finish the gig, you can watch the next band play and relax. When it's kind of the other way around, you sort of sound checking early, then you've got a load of time you're just trying to kill.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, completely. Did you find from opening for Busted that your social medias went a bit mental, more so than usual, or did you find that you kind of just took it in your stride and said whatever happens, happens, and if we get a couple of YouTube subscribers out of this, then fine, or did you find that it really went quick?
Yeah, we found it made a big difference. It's kind of
It was huge, wasn't it? Really, it was. Yeah.
So you're doing others, especially online. You're trying to sort of plug away to get a couple of followers. You get a new follower every now and again. Like, oh man, oh god, yes, I got a follower.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we were sort of like we're getting like 100 followers a day with we're like, oh my, this is great. We need to be sort of out gigging and supporting every day, really. So.
Yeah, I feel that. Who was the guys that supported after you? Was it the Knack? Is that the right band?
Would they? Yeah, They were called The Time, but
Yeah.
I think for copyright reasons, they've actually just changed their name to Soap.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they were great. They were really nice guys. I think they were like in their early like 20s or 19 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, yeah, really great, really nice guys, and they played a really good show. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I thought they were really entertaining. I did for a split second think Ninja from Twitch had joined a band because the singer has got blue hair, and I just immediately associate blue hair with that. But yeah, they kind of got the crowd up to a level where I think free band lineups are really hard sometimes, especially if it's like variety hour. Because Busted have got quite a specific sound, so it's important that the bands complement them on the way up the stairs. But yeah, they were kind of doing a lot of crowd participation, and they did a song. What was it? Nobody Likes You When You're in a Bad Mood.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't actually checked them out fully since watching them. But I used to love doing that when I was like 17, 18. I'd always go to like a full all-day music festival and just see who would play. And it would be bands like All Time Low, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and they were like low on the bill. And now obviously you see them just, owning Scuzz and Kerrang and being on, the TV all the time. And it's pretty crazy to think that I watched them in quite a small room, 40, 50 people maybe. But yeah, I thought they were really good. I definitely check them out again. But yeah, they seem to have a lot of energy. Like you say, they were a bit younger than some of the people in the crowd, even. So they played like their life depended on it. But yeah, they were fantastic. So what are they called? Sorry, Soap.
Soap.
Yeah, they're called Soap now. Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully they don't get sued by Lush as a result of the name change. Going out of the frying pan into the fire.
Well, they might get a good sponsorship deal.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I can tell Andy runs the PR side of Wolph. Spins it. Love it.
What do we do with the we bought a bottle of wine called, is that Wolf wine? WOLF, just normal Wolf.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we took a photo in our rehearsal studio, just
Yeah.
we thought to see if we could get.
yeah. We took off the
Nice.
F, put the pH on, and then put it online, and then we got a message from the vineyards and the guys just being like, "This is great."
Yeah.
But no free
Sky's
bottles
the
of
limit.
wine.
I'll
Yeah,
sort you guys out. I'll sort
yeah,
you out. I'm pretty good at stuff like that.
No, thanks, mate.
It's all right. No worries. We'll get you some wine by the end of the year. All right. We've said it on a podcast, so it has to happen. All right. Top 3 busted songs in your opinion. Obviously, you got to meet them. You might know them, quite intricately and quite intimately. But go inside of the stage. What did you think was like the consistent crowd response? And even just listening to them in your car or listening to them sort of on the CD player back in the old days. What's your 3 favourite busted songs each?
Ooh, that's a good question. That one.
I think Year 3000's got to be a
Yeah, that's
big old one.
that's
Was a
and,
Cloud of Crushed the Wedding.
yeah, that's another one.
I think that one went down quite well at the show.
Is it Air Hostess as well?
It's a shame.
Yeah, Air Hostess. That was a great one. What other Buster songs are there?
3 a.m.
That's it. Yeah,
Sleeping with the light on.
that's
Oh yeah,
it.
I
That
thought
was a banger.
that went down really well at
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
They did that really nice kind of
Anything
dynamic.
that involves a torch or a lighter seems to completely bring the house down these days, I've noticed.
Well, yeah, actually, talking about that, when we were obviously playing our set, Andy just out of nowhere, well, obviously you would if you're in the crowd, and he was just like, I've always wanted to do this.
Hmm.
If everyone's got a phone, can you put their, flashlight on for this song? And then the whole arena it was incredible being on stage.
Yeah.
And like seeing the whole arena just literally just light up, which was that was one of the best moments.
Yeah.
Sure, playing that tour.
I think that's quite a tricky thing to follow. Sorry, Andy, I'll let you speak in a second. I think it's quite difficult to do. If you're the opening band, you don't want to come at it from a pretentious, you'll do as I say, minions. But also, on the other side of that, I've noticed from watching thousands and thousands of bands, if you don't ask the crowd, they're not going to do it. So you might as well ask, and some of them do it, than not ask at all, What do you think of that, Andy?
Yeah, it's kind of like Luke said. It wasn't like sort of planned to be kind of you never know what the audience likes. You sort of get in front of the audience and how they're going to sort of respond.
Yeah.
And even like the first song we played, there's some people going for it at the front, weren't they, Luke? They're kind of
Yeah, they were. You could
and
see
we were
them
like, this is
hanging on to the front. Just
we like this is getting a great response from the start, and then I sort of started the last song, and then I just stopped. I was like, actually, I've never done this before. And Luke's gonna look at me and being like, Andy, what are you doing? Don't do it.
Not now.
What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
And then, then I said, if anyone's got a camera, just get your phone. And a few sort of lights started appearing, and then then it sort of spread, and we were like, oh my god, this is like.
Chain effect, isn't it? It's like when someone else does it, someone else does it, and then it just like carries on. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I see that a lot with clapping as well. If you can get like 5 people, 6 people clapping, then eventually the whole room starts doing it. But nothing that is sadder, and I've been this guy, where I'm the only person clapping. And it's like, no one? Really? This is like a build up to a crescendo in the song, and no one partakes. And I kind of, it's like laughing at your own joke, isn't it? Sad. Anyway, let's make this less sad. We've got about 10 minutes left on this one, and then we'll join the other meeting. But this is a bit of a big question. I want to know your honest opinions on this because I've noticed this recently with a lot of bands, as Busted have done. What do you two personally think about massive bands nowadays playing 5 or 6 arena shows in the UK at all central London-like locations, Manchester, Newcastle, delete as appropriate, instead of playing 20 to 30 shows across little towns in the UK? What do you think has caused that to happen? And do you prefer one or the other, or do you kind of just go with the band that's asked you to support them and you kind of don't have an opinion on it?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of. I mean, the Busted tour, they obviously did a load of shows.
Yeah.
So because they're sort of so successful, I guess they were sort of out for like a month and a half, 2 months anyway, doing all those shows.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to probably
Yeah.
aim, the bigger venues, because otherwise they'd be out playing for the whole year.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. I guess if some bands were doing just 5 shows and just doing like sort of London, Manchester, maybe like one in Scotland or something,
Yeah.
then I guess people do have to, to travel.
Mhm.
I think as musicians, we kind of even maybe even prefer the smaller shows because it's more intimate anyway.
Mm.
But I guess as a promoter, they're going to want to make the most money out of it, and if they can sell the big venues,
Yeah.
they will.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, that's very true. Um, yeah, it is difficult. Like nowadays, like a lot of the bands are playing these massive arena shows, like and only putting on a couple. But personally, we would definitely prefer to play like the smaller shows and like
Mhm.
travel around, play, supporting a well-known band, on a smaller kind of tour, but playing more shows would be great. Um, but then obviously with the arena shows, like that's fantastic as well. Um, well, what's your feel on the whole situation?
So mine comes from a person that's played bass for 8 or 9 years and then kind of had other priorities and had a child, and now I do this podcast full time. But it comes from a sense of like Glastonbury Festival, like the tickets go out at 10 a.m. and by 10:25, all of them have gone. And it comes from a sense of like, oh man, I really wanted to go to that gig. Like Sleep Token are like one of my favorite bands of all time. They're a really good example, actually. They will release like a 7 date tour of like arenas because they're now at that level where they can sell out arenas. And me and my girlfriend are like on WhatsApp to each other, like, oh my God, we need to get tickets, we need to get tickets. And they're gone. And you're like, oh fuck, man, like Jesus Christ, like, you didn't even get a chance. Like, I'm at work, sat on the toilet, trying to bill cough for a couple of minutes. And I don't know, it feels sometimes like you've kind of had that chance to see the band at a lower level, a slightly smaller venue. And that chance kind of gets taken away from you. Like another good example is Enter Shikari. They quite like playing small, intimate venues, but their sort of demand kind of exceeds that level of capacity.
Mm.
So I see both sides of the coin. I see the fact that obviously it's about money and it revolves around being commercially viable and all that sort of stuff. But sometimes I watch massive, shows, I watch bands and I think that might have actually sounded better, like in a really small tent at somewhere like 2000 Trees. Like that
Yeah,
song might have actually have been enhanced atmosphere wise by the small surroundings and the small environment. So yeah, I don't really have like a right or wrong answer to it, but I've just noticed recently that seems to be the sort of trend. Is sometimes it's quantity over quality in terms of let's just sell the venue out because we can then put on Instagram that we've sold the venue out.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely from the top dogs that are running the shows for the bands, all the booking
Yeah.
agents and management and all that kind of stuff. They are pushing for the
Mm.
bigger venues to make the more ticket sales and money and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think bands do like like when was it Green Day came over? They were playing like some
Yeah,
last minute shows, weren't they?
that little pub, didn't they, in London?
That's
They
cool.
just rocked up, and they
That's
did their
cool.
covers band as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is sick. That's great. I love it. I love when bands do that.
Mm.
Like Foo Fighters or something like that. When they change
Yeah.
their name, like
Mm.
they just their love for music is so great that they don't really care. They're at a stage where they're just like, all right, cool, let's just
Yeah.
go out and do this and do that and do this and
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's that sort of
Prince did.
Bill and Ted thing of like, if they build it, they will come.
yeah,
Did you say
exactly.
Prince did it, Andy?
Prince, when he was touring, he just used to kind of do an epic like long show,
Oh.
and then just rock up to some little bar in town
Yeah, like Ronnie Scott's or something. I think
and
yeah,
just
he just turned up and just started playing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. I always feel like that with Dave Chappelle, the comedian. He
yeah,
kind of just shows up to Central Park and gets on his little soapbox, literally gets on a soapbox and just starts telling jokes. And it's like, dude, you could be selling out like the Barclaycard Arena. But when you've reached that level of like almost to the point where it's like, I don't actually give a shit, that's like the true freedom to be able to adapt and to kind of do whatever you feel like when you wake up in the morning. It's good to know that you can sell out a massive stadium, but it's also cool to know that you can just go to an open mic night and kind of just riff.
yeah.
But I
yeah,
think that translates to music as well, because it's all performance, it's all art, isn't it? So, yeah,
yeah.
fantastic. Awesome. Right, we're going to go to another Zoom meeting. So hopefully this one's a little bit smoother than the last one. We won't go into it too much. But we've got some more questions coming up. We're going to go to a quick ad that Luke and Andy don't have to watch. And yeah, we'll speak to you in a bit. And cheers for watching and listening so far, guys. All right, cheers.
Do you need that extra burst of energy? Do you need motivation? Do you need that X factor? Well, Go Energy has you covered. Whatever gets your juices flowing. Whatever you need to let your hair down. Have a go at it all with Go Energy. Gluten-free, vegan-friendly, and no artificial additives. Go Energy. Use code Bedlam10 at checkout.
And we are back. So recently, am I right in thinking that you guys have done a Maida Vale studio session with BBC Introducing?
Yes, it wasn't BBC Introducing.
Okay.
We got put in for basically like a VR. We basically became like one of the first bands to record. It's something like in a VR. Was it VR situation? Some special thing, VR situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Um,
bit of a complicated one.
yeah. So we're basically guinea pigs, really. So we went into Studio 4 Maida Vale, which is the studio that they do all the live lounge, the BBC Introducing stuff in, and we're all in the same room. We played we played the track several times. Kind of went around it.
Mhm.
We then got separated and put into different rooms, but they'd made VR avatars of ourselves. But we were in the same room again, and because we had these headsets on, like our heads would sort of move as you sort of see someone across the room. And then we do the same thing. We had sort of various things that change in the room, like reverbs and stuff, to see what effect it would have on us. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. It was
Yeah, it was. It was mental. It was like they were building the soundscaping for like new in-ears. So basically, the audio that you were hearing in our ears was completely like 360 degrees.
Okay.
So so if you had your in-ears in, you're playing on stage, you can literally hear everyone where they are in the room. It's like this new technology that I think they've just brought it out. I think I'm not 100% too sure, but it's all up in Yorkshire University, isn't it? And
in York, yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, York. Sorry, not Yorkshire, York. And yeah, it was incredible. Like being in like all these different rooms and having the Oculus or whatever it's called on. Yeah, but the session itself was incredible. Like we had the same sound engineer as they normally use for BBC Introducing Maida Vale sessions, and the main house guy for Maida Vale. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where
One
do
of
you
the
think?
Sorry.
Go on, sorry, Andy. You go. You're right.
One of the amazing things that we found with this new sort of technology is everything's normally left and like when you got headphones on, everything's left and right. You know, kind of everything's mixed to the left and right. So no matter where you are in the room, you've always got that sort of same mix.
Yeah.
With this new sort of technology, if I turn my head towards the guitarist, I've got full guitar coming at me, and the bass is behind me. So it actually matches, to what's happening in the room.
It's crazy.
Yes, if you move to, say if you were able to walk around and stuff, you can move towards like a drum kit, and the drummer would get louder because it's pretty incredible to.
Where do you think that will go in 5 years? Because it sounds like it's pretty perfect already, but us humans, we like to try and perfect perfection, don't we? And where's that gonna go next, I wonder?
I don't know. It's who knows, but like for the in-ears and stuff like that, which they're using like all the soundscaping for, it's definitely for the whole festivals, like being on like the big open stages. I think they're kind of trying to use it for that to kind of feel as normal as possible.
It's interesting because I always associate VR with games and metaverse and virtual things that can't be replicated in the physical world, whereas a gig is a very physical thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it was when we were recording it was all about the latency, wasn't it? It was like they were trying to reduce it, so it was pretty much like bang on when you're recording.
Yeah. So the next question from that is, you got 2 more members for the Maida Vale sessions. Was it the first time they joined Wolph? And also, that's quite a big ask. Hey guys, we're not only going to get you in the studio to pad out our sound, but we're also going to make you wear Oculus Rifts. Do you mind? So was that the first time they played with you guys, or are they friends from previous lives, or?
Yeah, we've kind of there's musician friends that we sort of either played with in the past, or like I've played with the bass player Al. I've played with Al a lot in other bands and things before. Luke's played with Al as well. And then Mike, who's a friend of Luke's, who through drums, and we need a drummer and a bass player to sort of had the sound or make a full band. And so we got the boys in, didn't we?
Got the boys in. They loved it. It was like a proper day out for the lads. So what do you want to do? Do you want to record in room 4 in Maida Vale and wear some VR stuff and they're like, yeah, all right.
And then we got to do it all again back in York. We went back to the university in York, and we were put back in the same studio again, but in York, so to do more experiments. Another day out for them as well. So
Love it. How many songs did you play for that session, and what were they?
We did. So we had the main song, which was our song "Shoulders of Giants."
Yeah.
We actually played. We because they wanted us to play different stuff as well.
Yeah.
We did like a bit of a blues jam, because what they wanted to see is if we're not familiar with the song and we're just trying to play off each other, if our timing would speed up in relation to the latency,
Okay.
which we found did actually happen, which is quite interesting. I think did we play another one as well?
I think it was just the two. I think
Yeah.
they wanted us to play the same. They wanted the consistency of the same song, so we had to. I can't even tell you how many times we played that bloody track. Honestly, it was like 40, 50 times.
Yeah.
Like in the recording, like in the VR world. The Maida Vale, like the actual Maida Vale session, like us playing live, we did like once or twice. But yeah, but yeah, that was fun playing the same song over and over and over again. It's like we're literally being in the studio again. But yeah, it was quite funny doing like the song that no one knew because everyone was just like, okay, cool, right, let's just play a song, and then it kind of all worked out. But yeah,
Yeah.
you can see the little
But it's funny because we'd all be listening to each other, and so if someone naturally kind of speeds up a tiny bit, everyone sort of starts speeding up with them. And so because of the latency, we all sped up together, and then we'd realize one of us would realize it's going a bit too fast, so one would start slowing down, but then we'd naturally all slow down. So it's this weird kind of wavy sort of tempo song.
Yeah. That's cool. And can we hear that, the Maida Vale session back? Is there a link? Is it on YouTube?
Our sessions on YouTube.
Okay.
We've got there's two videos on our YouTube. We've got the actual one of the song playing in the Maida Vale session, and then we put up recently just a one camera shot from the side, which is actually quite good because you get to see the drums in it.
Yeah.
It sort of starts off. It's one of the takes, and then we sort of switch to the final sort of mastered version to it. So yeah.
Are the members that helped you for this session able to help you out going forwards, or is this meant to be a two-piece project that occasionally requires some session people?
Yeah, we found as a two-piece, I found with bands in the past as well, trying to get sort of everyone in the room at the same time, and everyone's got different commitments and stuff. Also, when you're writing songs, everyone wants to write things in a slightly different way, and I think that's how most bands sort of fall out. So when Luke and I set Wolph up, it was quite good because at least it's just two of us. So if Luke likes it a certain way, and I'm like, okay, look, we'll do it your way this time. We'll do it my way next time. So at least we had a bit of a bit of a balance.
Yeah.
But as the sound progresses, we obviously want to have more musicians in the band. But when we're touring, it's quite easy to tour as a two-piece as well, that we have been doing. So it's kind of
we can definitely we definitely tour as a two-piece for sure. We've actually just been like talking about it for like in future shows to bring like maybe another session member on if we're doing kind of different shows, and having a drummer in the back just to give it a bit more of a different feel. It works at the moment, so we're just gonna see how it goes, and then if it works, then it works.
Have you guys go on? Sorry, Andy, I keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry.
No. That's the one thing we always feel kind of would add a lot, like live drums added to the set is one of the big things. I don't know what you thought when you saw us play at the on the Busted support, but I think
I felt like it was an adequate sound for what you guys were doing, but also I didn't know that there was a four-piece option. So sometimes if that's what's presented to you, if you watch something like Jules Holland and there's two people on stage, there's some fucking awesome two-piece bands though, man. Like, I love 21 Pilots. I think they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Another band that I was about to ask you about is a band called Middle Class Rut. They are unbelievable as a two-piece, but they occasionally, when they do recording sessions like you guys, they, form a bigger group to increase the sound. I think they actually called it a day in like 2015, but I'll send you some links after this.
Yeah, nice.
They are one of the best American two-piece bands I've heard, and yeah, just like what you say about logistics and decision making, and sometimes if you've got 5 or 6 of you, or God forbid you've got Slipknot, 9 of you, making a decision takes weeks, rather than hours. And I
Very true.
definitely see the advantage of having a tight community of 2 people and then, expanding it out if needed. I don't think
Yeah.
it affects the music too much from a live perspective because, if you're doubling up or tripling up layers when you're in the studio, it's going to sound massive, even if it's just 2 of you recording.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of bands now are like, they do have those session musicians that are coming in doing live stuff just to give it that extra bit of oomph behind them
Mm.
instead of putting it on because we use like a Roland SPD,
Mm.
and we have like all the like we write the tracks and then we pop them on there just to fill it out.
Mm.
And so yeah, so having like that extra session musician, like having that real life kind of musicianship going on live, yeah, is definitely it helps when
Yeah.
you play live shows.
Yeah. It's important to be agile nowadays as well, and certain things suit certain situations. And yeah, it seems like you 2 get along as friends and people, and sometimes 2 is all you need. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
we fell out. We fell out, which is why we're not actually together at the moment.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I didn't actually want to go over there tonight. The train strike, mate. I
The
can't come up.
trains were striking. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I got you. Slightly deep question, and then it's just completely off the rails talking about sweets or chocolate. So apologies in advance. What motivates you guys in Wolph? What makes you want to sort of really, really give this a decent go? What sort of wakes you up in the morning, and where do you see Wolph potentially going in the future if it was up to you guys?
Nice, big one.
That is a
No,
deep, deep, good question. That one.
yeah, I think we both. I mean, we love music. We've played in bands, you know, ever since we sort of been able to. And with Wolf, we kind of we met like a few years ago, and we shared kind of like a similar interest for the same style of music. We'd already been playing sort of just like a few like little bits together. We kind of towards like the end of lockdown, we kind of got together and just got in the studio and started just putting some ideas down. We'll see what happens.
Mm.
And yeah, just sort of hit it off together really.
Yeah, and then like how we write is, I don't know. We always depending on what we're kind of like listening to, but we kind of listen to the same kind of things, and we just kind of vibe from there. But like going on for like future stuff with Wolf, like we just want to like, for the next steps for us at the moment is like we really want to just start writing a bit more, like laying down more tracks, like recording more tracks, getting out there, building up our social media,
Okay.
interacting with people like online, and and trying to get some nice gigs and kind of progress from there. That's our kind of next steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different parts to sort of pushing on music now. You're like the sound engineer, you're the songwriter,
Mm.
you're the video social media platform promoter.
Yeah, but it's just the love for music is like what gets us up in the morning, like we love getting up in the morning, and then we're just like, right, okay. And then we're always like, I always message Andy because I'm always up really early. So I'm that annoying guy that's like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, Andy, how you doing? And then like 2 hours later, I get a reply being like, hello.
Morning.
It's like, poor guy. He's like, oh God, I don't need to put an alarm clock on anymore. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're always like talking about, right, what do we need to do? Like, how are we going to do this? Like, and that's kind of, it just gives us that buzz, that adrenaline that we love, from music.
Yeah, I love that. Do you think it's really important to have kind of opposite people in bands? Like Luke has obviously expressed that he's very high energy and he jumps up and he's like a small dog when he wakes up in the morning, whereas Andy might sleep in for a little bit longer, but Andy might be a bit more reserved and potentially might think about decisions a bit more. It's because I think if there was two Lukes in Wolph, it would be chaos. You'd be conflicting with each other because you'd both have super, super high energy and then nothing gets done. Do you think that's really important to have that dynamic of potentially opposites attract?
Yeah, 100%. Like Andy's very sort of focused on, like he's really good at like doing all the other stuff, like not just playing. Like obviously he's an amazing musician, but he's really good at like doing all the video stuff, like recording and like all those kind of bits. And I'm just there like, yeah, come on, like what's
Yeah.
yeah. So like having those two different personalities, yeah, definitely helps us as Wolph to do Wolph things.
Absolutely. Love that. Awesome. So yeah, silly questions. So let's get right to it. If you could slightly inconvenience someone in their house by changing or removing something, what would it be and why? So, for example, plug holes. If you were to get rid of all of the plugs, then obviously your bath would not fill up, for example. What would you do to cause the most disruption in a minor way?
Hide the remote control
That would do it.
for the TV.
Yeah, that would do it. Take the batteries
I was
out.
gonna say the plug sockets, removal
Yeah.
of them, cut all the wires.
Yeah, mate, that would do it. Definitely these days.
Yeah, anything to do with electricity.
Yeah.
Or like cut the Wi-Fi, something like that.
Yeah.
Just
Take away the modem.
yeah.
Yeah. It's the best way to get a family meeting on the go is turn the Wi-Fi off. Everyone will gather around. Yeah, fair enough. So got some quick fire questions similar to that one. I'm gonna let you both answer each other's in a bit of a spin. So, favorite animal and favorite animal noise. So if Luke wants to answer for Andy and vice versa.
Okay, so Andy, favorite animal is a cat. Favorite animal noise. That's a good question. Say a goose.
What do you reckon, Andy? Fan of geese?
Strange one.
What's
There
Luke?
was I was just thinking there's a really funny thing related to this. I saw it was it's kind of like a Zoom kind of kids entertainment kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they did it with the parents. The parent didn't know they were being caught out yet. So the guy doing the entertainment sort of held up a picture of a dog and was like, all you need to do is you need to make the sound of the animal. So he held up the dog and it's like, yeah, woof, yeah, great.
Yeah.
And then for the adult, held like a snail, and the mum sort of there going, never mind. Before you know it, his next one is like the cat, and then there was like a starfish, and it kind of kept going on. And the kid was just absolutely loving it because all these animals didn't make any noises. So
all these voiceless animals. Yeah. So what do you reckon Luke's is?
So Luke's favourite animal, maybe a dog. Is that yeah?
Yep. Yeah, you got that one.
Favourite animal noise. Oh, trying to think of animal noises now. Maybe
Yeah. Put you on the spot.
your mind just goes blank, doesn't it? Can't think of any animals at the moment.
Absolutely.
Maybe like a I don't know. I can't-
It's all good if you don't know. Something for the next tour for you to both
Yeah.
discuss heavily in
Next
detail.
time we're in the studio, we'll
Yeah.
just go through this again, and then
Yeah. New single, Animal Noises by Wolph. Yeah. Camping in a tent or a static caravan. Luke, if you want to guess Andy's and then vice versa again.
Andy is a tent, I reckon, for
Yeah.
sure.
Wild man.
I think Luke would go tent as well. Oh no, I think he's going to go caravan.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm like. I'm not a camper.
I like your comforts.
Yeah. I'm like one of those princess boys, you know, that are just like they don't like camping. I don't mind camping.
Yeah.
If I have to camp, I'll camp. But if I had a choice as
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
caravan or I'd love a
Absolutely.
caravan.
Living in a city or living in the countryside.
I'd say Luke now since he's moved out to the country. I'd say country.
Yeah. And then Andy, living in the city, is a city boy
Okay.
for sure.
Chocolate or sweets?
Chocolate because he eats it all the time. He always nicks the chocolates at my house when he comes in.
I have no chocolate here whatsoever. Right? I've got
What?
nothing. I've got nothing here, right? No chocolate. I don't have any chocolate.
Brilliant.
So what are you on about?
Wow.
Yeah.
Come at me, Cadbury's. Fucking hell. Like,
No
how much
chocolate.
promo do you want? Yeah.
No, Andy is. Oh, I want to say chocolate for Andy because he always has chocolate in the house.
Yeah, I've got chocolate in the house because I don't normally eat it. Yeah, I don't really eat many sweets or chocolates, but
More of a savoury guy.
yeah.
Fair enough. Bath or shower?
Andy is a shower. Well, he's not a shower, but he likes a shower.
I know you mean.
Yeah, I'll definitely prefer a shower. I think Luke would like a bath in his little caravan.
Deep soak. Yeah.
One of those
Nice.
big one of those big
Yeah, the big copper baths, you know,
Yeah.
little roll top.
Hell yeah. The tombstone
Nice
ones.
bath of whiskey on the side.
Yeah. Bit of a candle on the go.
Yeah, a nice little cab.
It's you time. You do whatever you want. Mornings or evenings?
Luke mornings.
Andy, definitely evenings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mario or Sonic?
Andy would go for Mario, I reckon.
Oh, no, I think it's
No, we go Sonic.
yeah.
Oh, little speedy guy.
Luke, I reckon it'd be Sonic.
Yeah, definitely.
Apple juice or orange juice?
I reckon Andy would go orange juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon Luke could go apple.
Do you know what? I'll probably go 50-50, to be honest. If that's allowed.
Orange juice with bits in or no bits?
Andy would go bits.
Yeah, 100% bits.
I was going to say something else then, but I can't say that anymore.
That's Andy blocked on WhatsApp then. Awkward. This isn't necessarily one for each other, but where's the weirdest place you can remember sleeping?
I haven't really slept in many weird places, to be honest.
Fair enough.
But
I slept in a bus station once. I was in America. Basically I was in New York, and my friend was living in Boston, and I'd gone to New York to kind of to make some contacts and to meet this music lawyer out there, but it hadn't worked out on the day. So I tried to find a hotel, and hotels in New York were ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So I decided to take the last bus back from New York to Boston, sleep a couple of hours in the bus stop, and then get back on the bus and go back to New York and try to meet him the next day.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, probably a tent. That's the weirdest place I've slept in.
That's something for the vision board.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the year, find a weirder place to sleep than a tent.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a go this year for sure.
I'm sure if you tour a bit more, then things will start unveiling in front of you, and the
Yeah.
possibilities are endless.
Won't be allowed to book hotels. It'll be like, right, let's try and find the weirdest place to sleep.
Yeah. New challenge on YouTube. Any questions for me at all as a budding podcaster that's nearly been doing this for 3.5 years? Anything you want, I'll be as honest as possible, and it's also fine if you don't have any questions.
Where's the weirdest place you've slept?
Yeah.
Aside from music festivals, probably a shopping trolley. I've never really been much of a drinker, but I quite liked the idea of sort of being around people and watching the chaos unfold. And sometimes things look like a sort of Discovery Channel wildlife documentary when you're sober and you're around loads of drunk people. And I think I'd just been out for like, I don't know, a whole day, sort of having a couple of drinks, but not going as hard as some of my mates. And I think I got in a shopping trolley and realised how tired I was. And 2 or 3 hours later, I woke up because my back was completely screwed, and decided to walk home and go to bed like a normal person. And it turns out beds are actually more comfortable. So, yeah, that's the one that jumps to mind. So, but yeah, any others?
Um,
Go on, Andy.
yeah. What's the plan for for the podcast? Your sort
Good
of
question. I don't really know. I kind of started this with aim to get the biggest guests on, to get people like Devin Townsend, Steve Vai, and Paul Gilbert, and movie stars, and now I kind of just take it as it comes, and I'm booked up on this till September, so I just keep doing it and see what happens. I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm the UK Poundland equivalent of Joe Rogan, but I'm a bit of a control freak, if I'm completely honest. So sometimes it's good to let go of that and just see what opens in front of you, and just ask people if they want to come on for an hour. And if they don't, then fair enough. But I always feel a lot better after I've had these chats. I feel a lot more connected to the world, and yeah, I love it. I think it's good.
Yeah, nice.
100%. Right.
So, last question before we promote Wolph. You've got 1 hour left on Earth. Where are you going and what are you doing? You can go anywhere in the world and you can teleport. What are you going to be doing with the last hour?
I will be going down to Nashville and playing as much music as possible and being at the bar, having a couple of bevs, having the best time ever with a cowboy hat on.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I'll come to your I think I'll come along to yours, Lou.
Can't beat him, join him. Absolutely. So, as Wolph and as individuals, what's next? What's the next bit of 2024 look like for you guys? New music, new tour. What's next?
We've got quite a lot of music. So I think our plan is just kind of finish off some of the tracks we've got and start sort of getting a plan together to sort of slow release them. Maybe so rather than doing like an EP, maybe sort of putting one out every 2 months or something. And then also because of the effects of the tour, or how successful it was, sort of gaining new followers and stuff. Definitely to do another, get on the back of another tour. And if we could be doing that every day of our lives, we'd love it, wouldn't we, Luke?
We would, yeah. That's the end of the game. It's just to be playing, live and just recording and engaging with everybody else. That's what we love to do.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll have to come and watch you guys at one of your own gigs or at another, or when it comes up. Please play Bournemouth again, because it's so much easier for me as an individual. And let's face it, it's all about me on there. So just come and play to me. Please don't play Edinburgh, because that's a hell of a drive. But yeah, it was really good sort of meeting you in air quotes. And it was fantastic to watch you guys last year. So please go check out Wolph, guys. Please check out On the Shoulders of Giants. Check out their Maida Vale session. And keep your eyes peeled on the socials. And support live music. Because if you don't support it, it's going to all fuck off into the metaverse. So just keep an ear to the ground. And support your artists. Because they need all the support they can get. Thanks for watching, listening, viewing, and subscribing. There's lots and lots of links down below. If you want to check out Wolph, there'll be a music video down below. If you want to check other episodes that I've done, there's probably about 400 links down. So yeah, just keep checking this out, and I'll keep doing it as long as people keep watching and listening. So yeah, cheers, guys. Cheers, Andy. Cheers, Luke. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all. And keep it Bedlam. All right. Cheers, guys. Take care.
Absolute Bedlam.
Hey guys, it's John here from Absolute Bedlam. We just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to our brand new Patreon. If you head over to Patreon now, you can get access to behind the scenes footage, ad-free content and episodes. You can even send your own requests in terms of the content you would like to see us create. All of this is available to you and more. We've got free options available to you as a patron with us. If you just want to support what we do and help build the Absolute Bedlam experience, a small fee of £1 a month, you can do just that. If you want to get access to that ad-free content, those ad-free episodes, for £5 a month, you can join the Hive. And if you want all of that and more behind the scenes footage, commission works with us, live Q&A sessions, for £10 a month, all of the madness, all of the chaos of Absolute Bedlam will be yours. So head over to Patreon now, become a patron, and join the Hive.
Absolute Bedlam Podcast. Who? What? Where? Why?